girl Alicia one Rebel Seductress from the app outside. Like how we run the place. Don't know the vibes already. So currently we're up on the road. Not much of nothing today. Just have a little matter. So the start out. So we're gonna deal with that. So I'm touching at the Ligani. I don't know. I think I want to explore the Bull Bay with you know. I think I want to go on a Bull Bay vibes, you know, because I feel like Bull Bay is a place that doesn't get talked about much. We know Bull Bay. Everybody know Bull Bay, east side, west side, you know. Yeah. So the sunset and bay things. But I don't know. I don't really see people explore Bull Bay like that. I don't really think a lot of people know some of the attractions that are in Bull Bay. And I really believe that it's important for some people to know, because guess what, Bull Bay is very close to the airport, you know, and I do believe that there are some spots there that I can highlight and show people, you know, spots that are good for tourists and just the average Jamaican that is looking somewhere new to explore. I don't know me the outside queen already, so from the spot them there, they may go show and I go introduce and I may go make them know what going on, right? I just come in for just check in and go and update, because I know a long time when I talk to and see. And I don't want y'all to think that I'm no longer doing the runs for the disaster relief. It's just that more while with these things, we have to take time, because first of all, money in a grow pantry, and I'm not Superman, so we have to generate the funds so that we can gather the stuff and make another trip. So far we have been to Trelawney and we've also been to Manchester. Definitely want to touch the Westmoreland side and definitely want to touch St. Elizabeth as well. But also it kind of mentally draining, I'm not gonna lie, because when you touch into these parishes and you really see the reality of what's going on, and you get to speak to a lot of the people in the communities and in the areas, and you see the sadness of everything, and people just literally looking forward to you for as much help as you can, you know, and sometimes in the moment all you can do is just a little something, not much. It's just devastating and it's just sad. So you have to at times take a break, you know, a mental break, and check back in with yourself personally so that you can stay strong and maintain a balance so that you can keep, you know, doing what it is that you can do to help. And also I'm so going to some further updates from the foundation thing, Love in Action. As I say right now, I'm not completely focused on that. You know, along the line we're gonna make sure so we legalize it, because you know we like proper documentation for everything that we do. That is the type of person that I am. So as we go along with that journey as well, I will give you guys more information. I forgot to do a little sit down with, you know, because you know I'd also like to touch points on what I will be focusing on with my foundation, you know, the target areas and stuff like that. So we're not gonna hear more about that. So go and check out the vlog as we continue to journey on. Alright, big up on yourself and more nation. So check in.
Outside, like I'm me own the place. Y'all are free, but them can't touch base. From Kingston back to Mobile, and we run the road every day, car day. Man a beg life, man a beg cloud, everyone me got them off a talk about.
Alright guys, we're in Bull Bay and we're at Brookspen Beach. So this is me currently, guys. Guys, I'm so amazed by the fact that we have this pretty beach in Bull Bay. I did not know that That Bull Bay beach was so pretty. Oh my god. The beach is so blue and nice. No people don't really come explore Bull Bay, but this is why I'm here, to show you guys a lot of the hidden gems in Jamaica. Because I know a lot of people don't even see Bull Bay as somewhere exciting or a fun spot. Everybody know Bull Bay, but I don't think a lot of the attraction spots are talked about a lot. But my day after telling us say, if I live in a Kingston, I don't want a nice little hangout spot. I don't want a nice, clean, blue, country style beach. This is it. Look how the beach pretty. Guys, when I'm there at St. Thomas, you know, when I'm there at Portland, you know, when I'm there at Ochi, you know, when I'm there at Mobay, you know, I'm in Bull Bay. Can I tell you how pretty this is? It's so good to be in like close to Kingston and see a beach is clean and pretty. You must just see them something here in Portland, Ochi. Them something here so close to Kingston. You know Hellshire is taken over by the seaweed and Fort Clarence. I mean Hellshire Council over there and Fort Clarence is full of seaweed. I don't know about yet that. As you guys can see, there's people swimming and doing their thing. And then you got Little Copa right over there. So y'all know where I'm at. Y'all can know where Little Copa Club is. Y'all know where I'm at right now. Oh my god, amazing. And I know close by you guys have Bob Marley Beach and you have Wickiwata Beach in the region. But a lot of people don't come to this one. This one is called, I think, Brookspen. Brookspen. Very calm, very quiet, very cool. The sun is blazing today. It's really bright and nice out here. The only thing missing now is some cooking. I'm gonna see a gentleman up there, so like, he might go angle some food. But I'm telling you guys, this is beautiful. We have some beautiful boats right here. You know, the man them go catch them fish and thing. That's what's happening. Love it. I love it. And I'll be swimming over here because guess what? If y'all know me, wanna know say me love a blue, pretty beach and the sun. Ooh, love it. I'm not going at the sun very often. But anyways, I gotta keep up with and give more excitement as the day goes by. Alright, so you guys know that we are currently in Bull Bay, and as I mentioned, I'm trying to highlight a lot of the hot spots and local businesses in Bull Bay because we all hear of Bull Bay, but we don't really know a lot of things, a lot of the activities that happen over here. So today I am with Kevin. Yeah. And Kevin is a local fisherman. He's in the Bull Bay area or in and around the Bull Bay area, even Kingston, because enough of we live in a Kingston and we drive go all the way up Portmore to get fish. Alright, so you guys can come over here and get y'all fresh fish from Kevin
straight off of the sea. You guys can contact me on TikTok at Kevin's Adventure. Yeah man, I also have a YouTube channel. I'm also a YouTuber myself, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, man. My channel name is Kevin's Adventure. So, on my channel I show you how I catch the fish and thing, you know. So you see coming live from the sea straight to your plate, you know. So you can check it out, guys. I mostly do deep sea fishing, so you will see some fish that you don't normally see on your everyday activity. You understand me, sir?
I love
you can
that.
check it out. Kevin's Adventure.
Kevin's Adventure. Guys, make sure you go ahead and subscribe because you know I love the adventure thing, and you know your girl Alicia Moore is all about the adventures. So Kevin, I want to ask you some questions while we're here. How long have you been a fisherman?
Been a fisherman for more than 13 years now.
More than 13 years. What's the experience like? Any crazy stories out at sea that you can share?
Man. At night they come catch me and Sunday come the next day and catch me. A whole heap story, man.
What?
I can tell you some whole heap activities.
Give us one, man. Give the viewers one.
So I remember the first time the biggest fish I ever catch was a swordfish, and that fish weighed about 232 pounds. Right out here, sir.
That's about like this big.
No, man.
How big is that swordfish?
Bigger than you, about 6 feet 6 feet 9 inches.
Imagine that.
Yeah, man. So Stacey woman, we go out there early in the morning and we set a thing called deep line. So we're fishing up on the deep water, 1,200 feet of water.
Right.
Deep, and down there dark.
Whoa.
So we set the line. We set about 3 lines. So going back to the first line now to pull it to see what's on the line. So going towards the line, I saw the bottle moving away. You understand me? So I said to my captain, say, yo, the bottle come like a mover from the boat. He must say, yo, whatever they find this, prepare yourself to fight it because this is not normal.
They're like a shark.
The buckle just go away, apart the water go away. So finally reach up to it now. I'll start fight the thing.
When you say fight, what do you mean? Like
pulling the line to see what's on the line. So you have to pull the line up to the boat, you know. I remember 1,200 feet of water, so it's coming from deep.
Right.
You understand? So it's coming from deep, so I have to pull. Tell us, oh, if I take turn and fight the fish because of a whole heap of line. But they don't know how when I just see the fish come up now, I saw a long fish with a long thing on the beak, face. So I say it's a swordfish. First my experience fighting
so
a
that was sword, like how a sword actually look.
Yeah, man, long, man. So, you know, so we start fight the fish about 9 o'clock in the morning. At 5:30 in the evening before we could have put the fish inside of the boat.
That's how long it
8.5 hours. 8.5 hours. One fish, 8.5 hours.
Guys, you didn't know that it can take so long to catch one fish. But think when you go out to get so the fish are just drinking with something and catch one and that's it. Or sometimes I see people put it in a mesh.
Alright, so yeah, that's a different type of fishing. So you have fishing with nets, you have fishing with fish pot, you have hook and line. That's where you put the hook on the line and you put the bait on it and you send it down there to pull the fish. But that one now is a different type of fishing we're doing over on the deep. I tell you, say 8.5 hours from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5:30 in the evening. That's a 9 to 5, bro.
That's
so
a
you gotta
whole
work
day at work.
Yeah, whole day at work.
So when you catch a fish like that, how do you prepare it for sale?
Well, so normally have people come and buy them all like that. Like, so what they will normally do, cut off the sword, or take out the guts from the inside, the intestines, and then they will fillet it. So they cut the meat off the bone and stuff like that.
So that's like the fillet fish.
Yeah, so those fish, they have a lot of meat, a lot of muscle. You understand me? So they normally fillet them and smoke it. They have a smoker that they put it in, and you smoke it. So when you go to those fancy restaurants,
yeah, man, hear that?
You get it. Alright, so like sushi and them type of fish. When they fillet those type of fish like tuna, they use those to make sushi.
Salmon?
The salmon so as well, yeah, man.
Guys, so when I go to the fancy restaurant and I eat the nice fish, them the fillet fishes, you see how long it take the fisherman to get it, a whole entire day. So that's why the people them charging a bag of money for them.
And not just that, the reason I charge so much money too, because sometimes near land it's polluted, there's no fish, it's been overfished. And then you find say the pollution causes the fish to drift further and further out. Because if imagine you live in a community where you're being terrorized every day, you're being the police and bad man are pressure every day. You're not going to stay there. You're not going to stay there. So you're going to leave and go find somewhere else, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you find so the fish them they are being terrorized every day. So them find themselves
by the pollution of the ocean.
Pollution and being overfished as they're using a lot of nets and stuff. So the fish are being terrorized every day. So you have to go further and further. And not just that. If you look out there, I don't know if you can see the ships out there.
Yes.
See those ships?
Kevin, I like that you touch on the pollution of the ocean and how it affects the fisheries and your job as a fisherman. It makes it harder, as you said, because because the fishes are being terrorized. You're saying that you have to go further.
Yeah, you have to go miles offshore. So that will take more gas. You have to travel with more food, more stuff. And to the cost of living going on now, when you have to purchase so much things, and even to buy material, your fishing stuff, your hooks and all, those things are expensive.
Right, and it also increases the price.
Exactly. So whenever we increase the price, now not so we're trying to pressure nobody, but you have to understand, so we are being pressured as fishermen. You understand what I say?
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So and a lot of people don't really respect fishermen. From back in the days, farmers and fishermen, people look down upon them. You understand me?
That's true.
Because if a girl says she date a fisherman or a farmer, then time their parents will say, why are you dating such a low class person? Date a doctor, lawyer.
And that's wrong. That's a wrong mindset, guys.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, a boat, having a boat, first of all, it can make you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And fishermen do make a lot of money because you guys know that fishes are very, very expensive. It's a high risk to go out there and catch the fish, but it does make money. So I don't know who would have a fisherman and shame him, because that means healthy meals on your table every day. Y'all are crazy.
Less fertilizer, less hormones.
Fresh fish.
Yeah, man, straight from the sea, grown naturally. So if you notice the chicken that you guys consume on a daily basis, especially the KFC and those stuff, they have to be feeding these chickens and food that will cause them to grow very fast. So they increase the hormones. So when you go and
not as natural as
it's not natural, exactly. So when you eat that now, it interrupts your hormone, your balance. You understand me? So you find that a lot of females nowadays have more fibroids and those stuff because of the chicken that they eat, and you know. Yeah. Good points.
Because we know that Hurricane Melissa just passed, and a lot of other parishes have been affected, like Westmoreland, and you know, but Bull Bay is very close to the sea. It's on the southeast side of the country, I think. If I'm correct, you guys can let me know. If I'm not correct, let me know. But I think it's on the southeast side. Or how are you impacted whenever there's a storm as a fisherman?
Well, it depends on how close to land the hurricane or storm is traveling. We always get affected because the wave, the swells, they come in. These boats that is right here, we have to pull them up into the beach area because the water will come all the way up and will pull them away. So we have to carry them in the yard.
So in terms of your fishery going out, how does it affect you? How has Hurricane Melissa affected you this trip? Or
this trip?
Were you that badly affected?
Well, I didn't really get much damage.
Right.
As I say, it didn't affect this side of the island that much.
Right.
But I mean, you can look on the beach. Alright, so normally, here's the trick to it. Before the hurricane come, normally we'll set the net, because what happens now is like the weather is running the fish, so they are seeking shelter. So they come into the island, come to the island to find rocks where they can shelter. So we'll normally set the nets before the hurricane and catch them, and after the hurricane they'll still be here looking place to shelter because the water is stirring up.
So you find that after the hurricane you're able to get a lot of fish?
Yeah, we'll catch fish, man.
Right.
But the thing is, if we don't want to have any ice, because there wouldn't be any light, right, after the hurricane. So we have to...
You're not able to preserve it properly.
So we have to sell it out as we get it, you know, try to sell it as fast as possible.
One thing I acknowledge over here, because this beach is called Brooks Pen Beach, very close to Wikiwaki and Bob Marley. One thing I have acknowledged being here is that the beach is super blue and pretty, and we don't get that in St. Catherine. You know, I'm from Kingston, and as I took you guys to Hellshire Beach the other day and I showed you the condition of Fort Clarence, there's practically no beach to swim at Hellshire. And coming into Bull Bay, I am so amazed by the beauty of the beach, and I'm like, why over here don't flood out? Why people don't sit down on the beach side? Today is Sunday, it's beautiful.
I'll tell you why the beach always blue and pretty, because we're close to the deep. Less than a mile and you reach deep water.
Yeah.
Alright.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful because it's close to the deep, so you don't really have much swells that will come in to affect the mainland. You understand me? And then you have the reef right here that will break the big swells that are coming.
Guys, I feel like my daughter Portland.
Yeah, man, nice,
beach,
man.
Pretty and blue, and I love to see that there's people out there enjoying the water, so that lets me know it's swimmable.
It's real therapeutic, you know. If you feel stressed, so you come on the beach and sit down and listen to the wave It's relaxing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
I love it. Being here right now, I feel relaxed. So Kevin, another question that I want to ask is, seeing as though this vlog is mainly focused on Bull Bay and Bull Bay activities, what's it like living in Bull Bay? Can you tell the viewers what's it like being a resident of Bull Bay?
I mean, being here, it's a nice experience because I'm close to the sea. This is my office, you know. It's close to, and I live close to the sea, so I don't have to take any bus or drive too far to go to the sea. You know what I'm saying? So
must
drive,
be nice.
yeah, it's very close.
To the sea.
Yeah, man, and then it's therapeutic. And I live on the hill, so sometimes I sit under my tree and I look out on the ocean and you feel the ocean breeze. So it's very therapeutic. Trust me. Apart from, you know, so every community you go in there, I have people where look how troublesome people, but you know, we don't really pay that no mind. But apart from that, it's all good. Everybody live loving, you know what I say? It's everything good, man. You know,
and if you were to invite people into Bull Bay, what are some of the things you would say they could come out and enjoy here?
I mean, they do surf, you know, by the surf camp here. And,
yeah, I can see some surfers
yeah, man, and
over
we have the skating park down the road there, you know. You can do fishing on the beach. People come out here and they jog in the morning, you know, that's very healthy. But, you know, you can jog and a lot of activities here.
What's the nightlife like in Bull Bay?
Well, I mean, like, sometimes you have music that play at the bars and people come out and
lots of bars.
Yeah, bars and people play music and you go have a drink and, you know.
Bull Bay is giving me a rural area vibe. It's giving me a country feel. I noticed there's a lot of bars. There's not much clubbing like how you'd have in Kingston. But you have Copacabana over there. I spotted it when I was coming, and I think that's a lounge too as well, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's where the people go to lounge. But I love the experience here in Bull Bay. It's really, really nice.
And around by Wiki Waki every Sunday evening. Yeah, they play music around here. You can come
and the bonfire.
Yeah, and they do bonfire on Sunday, so you can come and enjoy yourself.
Guys, I wanted you to catch the bonfire. I went there last week to see if I was able to get some action, but I guess because of the hurricane, they were saying that they haven't started back the bonfire night.
It will start back soon, man. But
hopefully I can
beautiful scenery on Sundays, man, when the bonfire is lit. You know?
Alright, thank you so much for speaking with me, Kevin.
No, man, you're welcome. I'll shake your hand, but man, it's kind of rough.
I know,
big up yourself.
Big up yourself. It's a nice vibe, and I'm happy that you are here to explain a lot about, you know, Bull Bay and the activities that go on out here. I see the surfer guys out there. I feel like I'm going to go out there and see if we can talk to them.
Yeah, man, you can do your thing, man.
Yeah, and I want you to tell them again about your channel.
Yeah, man, it's Kevin's Adventure, guys. Yeah, man, so it's Kevin's Adventure. My YouTube channel name is Kevin's Adventure. You can go and check it out. And trust me, guys, I am no marine biologist, but I know a whole heap and we can teach you. Just watch the channel, man, and you learn a lot from it. And my TikTok channel is Kevin's Adventure, same thing, so you can check it out. And also my Instagram, Kevin's Adventure, so you can check it out. Alright, of love and respect. Bless them. Guys,
go ahead and subscribe to Kevin's Adventure. You can see some full of information, very informative, and I enjoyed speaking to him as well because him enlightened me to some things as well, especially about the fishery and fishing and things like that. I always want to know about them things. I don't know enough and fast.
I'm teaching you, I'm going to see. Come closer, I'm teaching you something.
Alright.
I'm teaching you how you can preserve the fish. Alright, so you know, normally people would have like fish fries and things coming up, right? So one way you could do is you buy the fish early, like say 2 months before or a month before. I'll show you how you can preserve it to last longer. So what you'll do, you clean it up, right? And you put it in a bag or a bucket or something that you can store some salt water, preferably salt water, and put it in the freezer. Just put it in the salt water and put it in the freezer. And when you take it back out at the time when you're ready for it, even a month after, it's fresh like it just catch. You understand me? So you can do that and tell me how it works. Make sure you know. Alright?
That makes sense. That makes sense. And guys, if you don't try it, come back another video and comment and make me know how it works for the fresh fish.
Yeah, man.
Because you know something, I don't really like going to the supermarket to buy.
No, man. Them fish not fresh at all.
I like getting the fish fresh, so that is a good trick. We can buy the fish them now and store them in some salt water and see it come out after. I'll try it.
Yeah, man.
Alright, big up yourself, Kevin.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
big up
again.
and love and respect. Alright, fisher. Yeah, peeps, this is Kevin, the local fisherman. Yeah, man, I just want to say big up Alicia Amora TV. Yeah, man, make sure you subscribe and watch the ads, them guys. Yeah, man, support our channel, alright? Big up on yourself.
Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is fun. So guys, currently I am walking down onto the beach because I see some people doing some surfing, and I kind of want to get to see if I can get some clips. So that's also something that they do over here, guys. From my understanding, they do a lot of surfing. It's a good surf area, I'm assuming, because it's deep waters, as much as see the front part here, it's a little shallow. But if I miss them, the fishing over here, guys, and I must know say it's deep water. So I just wanted to see if I could get to talk to a few of the surfers, doing some more content and showing once again some of the things that the Bull Bay people do for fun or as activities. Because even though it's in, very close to Kingston, very close to our international airport, it's still, it's still giving country vibes. I myself feel so good that I've discovered blue, pretty clean water so close to home, because I know that's my thing. Anyways, I see some little youngies surfing, so I'm gonna see if I can get some pictures of that. I'm making us to go on. Alright, keep watching.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
So many men will rise. Many got this dream, and it's shining in their eyes. But dreams are nothing new. We've all had dreams before, but who can make a dream and make it something more in that time?
Alright, so guys, I am here with one of the historical
historians of Jamnesia.
This is Billy Mystic, lead voice of Mystic Revealers, a legendary roots reggae band born right here in Bull Bay. Their music has echoed across decades. The band was formed in the late 1970s in his home area, Bull Bay. Mystic Revealers gained recognition for roots reggae with strong messages, not just dancing tunes, but music with meaning, social justice, Rastafarian spirituality, unity, etc. This place, Jamnesia, is more than a beach. It's a creative sanctuary where surf, music, and youth's dreams meet. Despite heartbreak and loss, fire that wiped out home and archives, the vibe's still strong. That's Jamaican resilience. You're not just watching a vlog. You're stepping inside real culture, real reggae history, and real people.
In space and time, space and time.
I'm just going to ask you a few basic questions and give you guys some insights as to what Jamnesia is about. Would you like to introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes, my name is Mystic. You can call me Billy Mystic or Uncle Billy. Right now I am the oldest one on the property here, so that results in me having to undertake a certain amount of the direction and running of the place. But really it's a family organization, you know. Jamnesia started out as a surf camp for traveling surfers, because there's lots of people in the world who love surfing and travel all over the world to surf. And as a result of that now, a lot of them would want to come to Jamaica, but because Jamaica is not known as a surfing destination, nobody really come, even though there's a lot of people who want to come. So we set up the Jamnesia Surf Camp, set up a website, jamnesiasurf.com, you can check it out, you know. And we advertise the place. I will show we have a YouTube too. Billy Mystic Wilmot is my YouTube channel.
Standing in the footprints of who's been here before. Not just another mortal. Oh no, there's something more.
And you can see all of the Jamaican surfing and everything on it. So we promote it that way. And as a result of that, now we get a lot of surfers coming from all over the world when they want to come surfing in Jamaica. Jamnesia is a central place. Jamnesia is a musical nest, a musical, what would I call it, like a seed bank, like a nursery, where we raise young upcoming musicians. You know, we have, because I was a member of the Mystic Revealers band, and doing a lot of world touring and traveling and recording and so on and so forth. My children obviously learn to play music also by being my children, and then become very adept at performing and creating music. And we keep a session here every first Saturday of the month, where anybody who aspiring to be a singer, a musician, whatever aspect of the performing arts, every first Saturday of the month we have a session here where it is an open stage. People can come in and come up and try them luck, do what them do. No rehearsal required. You just work out your thing on the stage with you right away and you get a chance to perform. Some of the names that have passed through Jamnesia sessions will be names that you would recognize, like Protege and Chronix and Janine and Raging Fire and Uprising Roots and Nomads and so many more. Kabaka Pyramid, Jesse Ryan, Lila Ike. This is where they cut them teeth in the entertainment business, you know. So music and surfing is the main thing, you know, that Jamnesia is renowned for, you know. So I hope that is
cover a lot of things, you know, based on the questions that I have to ask, or I had to ask, and I love that.
remember
But also,
30 seconds, you tell me.
yeah, you did good. But what can the first time visitors expect when they visit Jamnesia? Because you basically
We have food too, we have food. So it depends on what you want. go on to dinner, so some people arrive later in the evening. Some come to enjoy the beach and swim and that sort of thing. Others want to learn to surf, so them come to Jamnesia, because Jamnesia is a surf school, and you can learn to surf here as well. So depends on what them come for. It's not like when them come through the gate, you grab them up and handcuff them and say you have to do this and you have to do that. The open space, the cities there, that people come on the weekends, the first Saturday of the month, and to be a part of the music experience, you know, and that. So it depends on what really motivates someone.
You touched a lot on how the youth benefit from Jamnesia, especially I'm assuming the youth around the community. Right, so what do you hope for the visitors to take away after spending time here?
I don't really want them take away, I want them leave, some funds, you know. Spend some money with the people in the area, buy some lunch across the road and them kind of thing there, you know. Interact with the people, them, get to know the children, them, support them in any way they can as a foreigner, you know, young upcoming talent. So basically we hope that the platform of Jamnesia will serve as a large site with children, adults, male and female, with potential talent that need an opportunity to express it, you know. So that's what Jamnesia really provides, is that platform. You know? And I'll say it has been proven, because all you have to do is look at some of the names that I mentioned.
Yes, I've been hearing a lot of big names.
So all you have to do is just try to get an interview with them people, and then now you ask them, now they say, I have a question for you. Do you know a place called Jamnesia? And them are going to laugh, them are going to say, well, you know?
And what advice do you have for young Jamaicans who want to surf or follow creative paths?
Believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Realize that you are just a human being, like every other human being. And what makes a human being special is the attention they pay to themselves. And how they want to sharpen up, neat up, straighten out, balance off them personal self. So a lot of introspection and believing in yourself and going with your gut feeling. Going with your gut feeling. If something feels right, go for it and stand up and defend it. If something don't look too right, back off and keep it away from you. Go with your feelings. Them feelings are just jar talk to you and I communicate with you. Some people don't realize that them little feeling there is coming from, you know. But
and my last question to you, especially because this video is about Bull Bay and its people, what would you want the world to know about Bull Bay and the people
Bull Bay,
that reside
Jamnesia, Bull Bay is the home of Jamnesia. Surfing, skateboarding, music, food and drink, beach life. You know, it's separate and apart from Jamaica's established tourism product. Jamaica a tourism product. If you go abroad and you ask people, say, would you like to go to Jamaica? What do you imagine Jamaica to be like? They're going to tell you about Negril and they're not going to say Bull Bay, Black Sand Beach. They're not going to say Black Sand Beach and the sea rough all of the time. We already present the other end
so
of the
happy
island.
that you mentioned that.
You know, see, so we know it's the side of the island where when a foreigner arrive at this end of the island and walk in our community, they are not seen as a target for earning, because true tourism is not the way of life at this end of the island. You don't have a lot of people earning their living from the tourism industry and the tourism and presenting tourism product. Like, you know, only for you out there walk with some bead and look somebody to sell them some beads and coming out. If them see a white person walking in our community here, and probably feel say, come from over Jamnesia as a surfer. It's more a low-key type of visitor. Surfers don't stay at all inclusive hotels.
They have boarding.
They want to come and ask if they can hang up them hammock in your yard and give you $10 a night US for just sleep in your yard, and so you're under your protection. $20. Them come with them little tent and say, I put it over there so and give me $15 for the night. You know what I mean? So it's an alternate tourism product. We really have out there who want to encourage it. So since we have been here running Jamnesia, we see numerous Airbnb spring up in the community because the Bull Bay is being recognized. Bull Bay is being recognized now as an alternate tourism destination. Close to Kingston, close to Norman Manley Airport. right on the bus route, you just go right at the gate and jump on the bus and you can reach anywhere in Jamaica.
And the beach is
You know?
so
Alright,
beautiful,
alright.
clean.
So it's
pretty,
all
and
about,
talking
it's all about. You know?
Thank you so much for speaking with me.
No problem.
And giving me a lot of history about Bull Bay, and also, you know, showing people that Bull Bay is not just Bull Bay, it's an actual tourist location.
Yeah, man.
Trust me, you come here, you feel like you're in Portland, you feel like you're on Ocho Rios. Even calmer to me, because since I've been here, I've just felt so peaceful, and the atmosphere is very therapeutic. So thank you. And we love Jamnesia for that. All right, come out,
Bless
people. Check out Jamnesia. Check out the activities that are happening here. They have activities that happen on the weekends. So now just check out Jamnesia.
JamnesiaSurf.com. You can go check that out, the website, you know, and you can go to Billy Mystic Wilmot is a YouTube. We have a whole heap of surfing YouTube there, movies and things of the local surfers performing on the Jamaican waves. So that is nice too, you know. And I remember, so go look up my group, Mystic Revealers, Billy Mystic and Mystic Revealers. So if you know about reggae music, check out Mystic Revealers. Search it anywhere you want to search it, you ever find it. See? That's the
That
fun.
is it, Jamnesia. That is love.
Through every age and time, but like a thought although eternal, still occupy your mind in space and time.
Yeah, the mystic revealing.
Come back, we legalize weed.
Marijuana is the healing.
Of the nation, yeah.
So guys, we are currently here with Azila. Azila is an artist from the Bull Bay area, and he's also a historian because he knows a lot about Bull Bay. So I would like for him right now to go into it and tell me a little, the people some things about Bull Bay that you think they should know.
Right now, the location where they're right now, they're Jamnesia, right? It's a surf camp. From Jamnesia to Bob Marley Beach, about a mile and a quarter. So Bob Marley used to have a spot out on the Bob Marley Beach.
That's why they call it Bob Marley.
Yeah, because me went there myself, see? And I also meet Bonnie Wheeler a couple of times. Bonnie Wheeler was in 8 miles, Bull Bay one of the time. He was staying in that apartment up there, in the full white up there. And so I get, you know, fortunately I get for asking some question. And, you know, Bob Marley have a song say, I went to Cane River to wash my jet. And there's also a video for that, for the Bob Marley song. So I didn't want to know how he get inspired to do that song, right? So him tell me, say, Bonnie Wheeler, the general, tell me. I know say, alright, behind Jamnesia, so Aisha, yeah, right, there's somebody there and ask, you understand? So, him tell me, so them used to, when them done play football and exercise on the beach, them used to run from Bob Marley Beach up to Cane River Falls. So if you know the distance between, Aisha, about how much miles? Alright, so 3 miles to go to Cane River Falls from the main road or more. About 3 or 4 miles. So probably about 5 miles. Yeah, go. So them used to just run and you know, go to the river and swim and play. Yeah.
You were telling me earlier as well about the history of Rastafarians in Bull Bay.
Oh, yeah. So no, you just say you know, you say have a lot of Rasta. I say a lot of Rasta come from Bull Bay. So you have the Bobo Shanti by 9 miles, and you have Naya Bingi bridging them from the same Bob Marley Beach. So yeah, growing up as a little youth, I used to see Prince Emmanuel in Benz, you know, say heading to town and thing. But yeah, I'm not born a Bull Bay South this week, but I'm there for a while.
So you know a lot of the happenings
yeah, I
here.
know a things. See, so those are some of the things there.
What specifically do you enjoy about Bull Bay area?
Alright, so we say Bull Bay are one place, you know. But you have 7 mile Bull Bay, you have 8 mile Bull Bay, 9 mile Bull Bay, and you have 11 mile Bull Bay. So when I grow up, them always say right there are the more tourist-like part, you know. You don't know, everybody come, you them from 11 mile come at 8 mile, you them from 7 mile come at 8 mile. So, you know, and we're the next door to Cable Beach still, although it not function like one at a time still, but you know, me like that. 8 Mile Bull Bay coming like a the hub. Everybody come meet and reason, we meet and greet. Yeah, but them days they changed it, you know.
So this is 8 miles.
Yeah,
Bull
this
Bay.
is, yeah, more be specific, 8 Mile Bull Bay.
What's
And
the history behind the miles though? Because I realize you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 miles.
it's a good question that, you know. You know what I say? It's a good question. Oh, think from if you check it the mileage from town, would that be actually 8 miles from downtown Kingston. So I guess that's I said you have 7 miles, 8 miles, but I don't know specific. I don't know the history of that part still. Recently, them build a skate park for the youth them, right? Them build a skate park. One of the things we asked for, I like about that. Now add that to it too. And we have a football field down there, the youth. There's a place for the youth them, and that I like. The youth them can go down there and them can skate. Them parents can know them, but them father and them mother can know them. And that I like. You know. So I say.
And it's active. It's
yeah
an
man.
active
And
thing.
then again, the youth them have things to do. See, you know, youth are always be youth and kids are always free, but the violence kind of not so high up in them places. So the youth them have things to do. I realize when you them have things to do, different choice. A man can go skate, can go surf, can play football, and so them kind of thing there. You can go fish, you can do a whole thing. But them choose to do so.
I love that.
Yes.
So it keeps it positive
Yeah,
and
man.
active over here.
I like that energy there, you know what I'm saying? And Rastafari again there for balance it. You know what you notice? You notice as you see it? But my son that you know, see him, and I'm a skate, them skate, I'm a bridging, so seeing bridging and them youth, the whole of them skate and them stuff. A future star them there. Yeah man, Bull Bay, but that is worst place man.
Talk about a little bit about your music.
Oh, music, okay.
Yes.
Lately I'm not too inspired.
Why is that?
No, I'm not gonna tell you. You see, because I'm a cultural artist and this is a serious thing. I'm like how you ask me. And I think the youth need some more positive lyrics. Because what you know, the thing have to evolve, you know. Because the youth them do only for trap music now, but it's a nice culture tune. Lyrics, I should have said, pan a trap beat and make it sound nice. Because trap beat are not really our one. That exists long time. See, because when we travel, we know where I go on. We know where I go on, I think. In terms of the youth them, but the thing I evolve, but the youth them, I love massacre.
Perspective of what is happening, if you stay true to you and what you believe in, it still can work. I think it's about blocking out the noise and just staying focused on you and what you believe in and your purpose.
No, alright, listen. It's a 2019 album, EP, Black Superstar. Okay, so now, I'm in the process of the next one, right? You know what I say? But I don't want to talk much about that right now. But perhaps we're in the studio this summer. I do some collaboration with some artists, some known artists out there already. You know,
So where can the people find your music specifically if they're interested in, you know, hearing more about your artist?
You can follow me on YouTube, you know, mostly, you know, so one of the platforms that most artists use, Azeela Music, AZEELA Music, MUSIC, get on music, and IG, same thing.
Azeela, I know you say you're not feeling as inspired right now, but can you just give the people them something, make them know where you work with? Give them something, man, Azeela, something positive.
Listen. You see right here where you stand, you see that's that stage. You see live music going there, so every first Saturday. Something I say, you see that stage there? Why do this? I talk about how long now Jamaica run. Live, about... Yeah. No man, we are talking about years. We are talking about... Yeah. See? I know.
You mean the live?
No, yeah, the live thing.
So
No,
it's
I
like
have
live
a history to give about this as well. I just want to tell me something. But more than 15 years, right? Alright, about 16 years. Alright, see through that 16 years, if you know about Chronics, Lila IK, Kabaka Pyramid, the whole of them are right as it start. Protege, it start right as me living in the community, and this is this will rehearse, that's how we do music. All in the camera and there where the music. I want hungry where the music. But everybody come right as a community. So I say no, if them really want to hear Azeela, just come check out Jamaica every first Saturday in the month. Right as a Jamaica, right as I say no. See what I say? Yeah, every first Saturday in the month. See, so and I'm gonna support Azeela on IG and support Azeela on subscribe and like Azeela Music. So I can't tell you right now.
Alright, Azeela, big up yourself and thank you so much for your time.
No love and respect,
No
man.
love,
Easy,
love
no?
it.
Bull
Give.
Bay. Yeah, man. Give thanks, love yourself, give thanks to life.
That is it. Big up yourself,
Yeah, man.
Azeela. Alright guys, so after our trip to Jamnesia and also Brooks Bend Beach, showed you guys a little bit of the surfing activities and all of the things taking place. Hold on. So I now decided that... Shut up, girl. Girl, stop it. Yeah. So I decided that I wanted to go to Bob Marley Beach because Bob Marley Beach is also a historical location in Bull Bay. So I figured, why come to Bull Bay and not visit Bob Marley Beach? Now I'm not going over there for an entire day or to spend too long because it's almost 4 o'clock now, to be honest. Just going over there to see what it's like, what it looks like, because I don't think I've ever been to Bob Marley Beach. It seems like Bob Marley used to hang out in Bull Bay a lot. So Bob Marley apparently had a house in Bull Bay. His children or one of his child used to go to the Bull Bay school as well. If you don't know more about the history of Bob Marley and Bull Bay, you can just comment in the comment section and let me know. So of course, I guess Bob Marley's beach is named after him because it was somewhere that he would have been hanging out when he was in Bull Bay, and also Cane River, because Cane River has its Bob Marley's history as well. So I'm thinking, why not come to Bob Marley Beach in Bull Bay? Because this again is another historical location and it's a public access beach, guys. So we're here and I'm going to show you what I'm going. I actually changed my clothes because you know when you talk about Bob Marley, you talk about Red, Gold and Green, you talk about Jamaica, you talk about all of the things them. So I had to do it. Alright? So now just go and stay tuned.
Upon a rock, I rest my head. There I vision through the seas of oppression. Oh, don't make my life a prison. We come from Trench Town. Most of them come from Trench Town. We free the people with music. Can we free the people with music? Can we free the people with music? With music. With music. Oh, music. Oh, my head. Desolate places we'll find our bread. And everyone see what's taking place. Oh, another page in history. We come from Trench Town. Come from Trench Town. We come from Trench Town. Lord, we'll free the people with music. We free the people with music. We free our people with music. With music, oh music.
Guys, we are at Bob Marley Beach. Bob Marley Beach in Bull Bay. And it's quite active. Look around. you don't know the vibes, it is a vibe. So I can't hear the music, so I can't do the whole part. But it is a vibe. I love it, love it, love it. And I will have to come back. Thumbs up, like it, subscribe, comment. Tell me wanna like, subscribe for the video. The rest of the beach I'm gonna St. Catherine still, you know, but Bull Bay is gonna be my new favorite spot. We're leaving the beach. Never really stayed long, as I said before, because you know, the whole thing was just to go out there to see what was happening and see what the vibe was like. But not tell no lie, I love it. Love the crowd. It's giving uptown. And you know, like the vibe. So I think this is definitely going to be the end of the vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Hope you guys got to see a little bit of Bull Bay and what Bull Bay, some of what Bull Bay has to offer. Of course, I'm not going to be able to go everywhere and to show everything, but I just really wanted you guys to see that Bull Bay is definitely a nice, you know, area in Jamaica that you guys can check out on a regular Sunday evening during the week. They have beaches, you know, clean beaches, some of the cleanest beaches I've seen in a minute. And definitely good vibes, you know. Bring some of the beaches, you can just do your own thing, bring your own liquor, bring your friends, you know. If it's just a new relationship and you want to go on a date or somewhere, you know, Bull Bay is definitely somewhere where you guys can check out. If you never check out Bull Bay before, if you never know, say Bull Bay have all of these nice I would say tourist attractions, because it's really giving tourists, you know, and I definitely see a lot of tourists in some of these places as well, especially at Jamnesia and here down at Bob Marley Beach. Yes, I could definitely see some tourists as well as locals, because I know when we say uptown people and things that them are tourists, but it's really uptown people, you know. But the beach was very long, the water was cool and nice. It's giving black sand. Music is on the beach, as with almost every beach in Jamaica, and there were definitely a few cook shops, but I had already eaten and I never planned to go there and buy any food. It was just to see the vibes, and I enjoyed it, and I definitely, most definitely will be returning to Bob Marley Beach. If you never visit Bob Marley Beach before, make sure say when you take a trip out here and see what's going on. I wanted also, guys, to show you the sunset. I didn't want to show you the sunset because the sun, when the sun sets in the east, it's such a beautiful sight. I think I showed you guys that before, I don't know, but I'll incorporate a little video. I must have some clips from being here before and seeing the sunset.
Long as I'm breathing, I will never fail. I will be patient. You've shown me the way. Won't sell my soul, I won't stray. I'll wait on my day. Thanks for your greatness.
When the sun sets in the east, it's really, really beautiful, especially when you're sitting on the seaside and you get to see the sunset. It's beautiful. But I have a video to upload at 6, and I don't know, I'm gonna make the thumbnail, so I decided to leave so that I could go ahead and do that, so that I could get the video up by 6 p.m. this evening, and it's like after 4 going to 5. So this is where I'm gonna close off the vlog. Bull Bay, I definitely enjoy it here. So guys, make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with other people, help me to grow. And I don't know the vibe, you don't know your girl Alicia Moore, One Rebel Seductress, on the app and outside all the time, because I am vibes. See you guys in my next video. Amore Nation, big up on yourself. You're still watching? Thank you. But why you don't subscribe yet? click that red button below right now. Subscribe to the channel, man. Big up yourself. Thank you.